In this video, I'm going to run you through how to set up a successful Facebook campaign. And just to let you know, I've been running Facebook ads for my wife's business for many years now, but it's taken me quite a long time to actually work out what works best. You can very easily waste a lot of money with Facebook if you just there's so many different options. It's very easy to waste money. And Meta, Zuck, has no problem taking your money regardless of whether it actually gives you more business or not. So first thing we're going to do in our ad campaign is we're going to click on Create a New Campaign. This campaign is going to be for people that have not engaged with us before. So we call it a cold campaign. They are seeing our business for the first time. If you haven't run Facebook ads before, this is what you would be doing automatically. Once they have engaged with your page after a month or two, then we create a separate campaign, which is what we call warm or retargeting, meaning we are re-showing our Facebook ads to people that have already engaged with our Facebook page. So for the cold audience, the one I recommend is leads. Now, I have paid a lot of money to a lot of Facebook experts, and people will tell you different things. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct. All I'm sharing is what works for us and what works really well. And I have spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying all different things. And just because somebody in the US says this is the way you do it, it doesn't mean that it works in Philippines, Australia, or wherever. Each country has its different little nuances. Okay, so for our cold campaign, we're going to leave it as auction and we're going to click on leads. Now, I know this can look very scary if you haven't used Facebook for the first time. A lot of people, they say, yeah, I've used Facebook, but all they've done is boost a post. Okay, we're not boosting posts, we're doing a proper lead generation campaign. Those leads are going to be in our database so we can actually market to them again and again in the future. So all you need to do is give your campaign a name. And for example, I've just called it Cold Leads because they haven't interacted with us before. This is a brand new campaign, 2026, whatever you want to put here. And lead form is the type that I'm going to use. For here, click on Ad Set Budget. And then after that, we're just going to click on Next. So we started on campaign, now we're at the Ad Set page. You're going to want to give your ad set a name. For example, I've just given it this name. I'm going to come back to why in a minute. But for conversion location, you just want instant forms. Correction, not instant forms and messenger. We want instant forms. The reason being is we want to collect their information to build our database. And if you just have messenger, you're going to get too many people messaging that aren't a good fit for the business. So instant forms only, and that is under the single. You would choose your Facebook page here, and for this one, we want maximum number of qualified leads. That means that it's not going to just give it to everybody, but more likely people that are going to become, who is a qualified customer. I don't mind about data set for now. I'll come back to that later. The only other thing you need to do is you set yourself a budget. Now, I would recommend starting at 300 pesos per day. If you can afford, 500 is better, but 300. If you're really strapped and you're really worried, 200 might work. I think it's a little bit too small for the algorithm to have enough time to actually dial in and find your right person. So I would recommend between 300 and 500. If you're a bit scared, just start off 300, run it for 4 days. That's only 1,200 pesos, and then you can come back and you can tweak it. So the next section is audience. And if you're doing this brand new, you're not going to have any saved audiences. So show more settings, show more controls. So the location, you don't want to advertise to the entire country, because in a local business, it's only a certain group are going to come to your venue. This is why I put +8 miles. So what I would do is find your location. So we're going to hover over this and we're going to change this. So add location. And let's say we might put Metro Manila. So we have Metro Manila as an example. I wouldn't recommend doing it that large because it's going to be harder for people, that are going to travel, especially in something like Manila. But if you can pick out a landmark near your business, if your business isn't already in maps, then pick out a landmark, and this is where you choose the +8. So for example, if I was to put Mall of Asia, this is where I can change the distance from that landmark. So find a landmark. If your business isn't already in the maps, find a landmark that's very close to you, and I would recommend choosing a distance. So this is an 8-mile radius, right? So choose a distance that would be relative to how far your customers are willing to travel. So in Cebu, for example, we put 8 miles. In Manila, it might only be 5 miles or 4 miles. You need to decide based on what you know how far customers are willing to travel. For the minimum age, I put 23. Less than that, the quality of leads is not going to be very good. Under suggest an audience, you might want to have to go show suggestions. Now I'm going to pick 23 to 55, not 65. But you might want to adjust that based on what you know as to the age group of the people that are most reaching out. Now for genders, for function centers, I choose women, not both. Reason being, it's mostly the function inquiries over the last 3 years have come from women, and men seems to be a lot of spam and more junk. Sorry, it just is what it is. So I only show the ads to women. It's generally the women that are organizing the events. You don't want people reaching out and spamming and training the Facebook algorithm to give you bad leads. So I always choose women for the gender. The next part is we scroll down to placements. If you don't change this, Facebook will put your ad in a lot of places that doesn't work very well and just costs you more money. So we're going to change these placements, and we're going to, so under placements, to controls, click show more settings, and we're going to edit this one. And all we want is Instagram feed, we want Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook Reel, and Instagram Reel. So we're going to turn off everything else. Notifications, business page, explore we don't want, marketplace we definitely don't want, this one we don't want. So Facebook feed, Instagram feed, and then in this one, for stories, we want Instagram and Facebook stories, Instagram and Facebook Reels. For this one, we don't want, and this one we don't want. So it should be Facebook feed and Instagram feed only. Everything else is unticked. For stories and Reels, we don't want Messenger. WhatsApp won't appear unless you add your WhatsApp. So just Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram Reels. This one we don't want that either. So there should only be 6. These two, your Facebook and Instagram feed, and then Reels and stories. That's all you want for placement controls. So now we've finished the ad set section of your Facebook ads. So we're going to click on next, and now we're going to do the ad. So this is where you can have some fun and you can experiment with different types of ads. You can have an image ad, or you can have a video ad. It's a lot better if you can do a video that showcases your venue, especially when it's all done up just before an event and it looks all beautiful, decorations, table settings, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have videos, I would highly recommend that you record one as soon as possible that you can use, but if not, you can still use a photo. So you'll just choose the Facebook page and the Instagram page. So we're now at the ad. So this is our campaign. This is our ad set. Our ad set, we pick our audience and where it's going to show the ads, and also our objective, which is lead forms. And this one's now it's the actual ad. So you would write a name for the ad, you would select the page, create ad. Now click on single image or video, turn this off, and again, if you have a video, that's best. If you don't, we can do an image. Destination, we're using instant form. So we're going to create an instant form, give the form a name, choose higher intent. Now this one here, if you are getting a lot of junk leads, you might want to tick this one. What that means is that people cannot send you the message unless they verify with an OTP. So it's done all through Facebook, so it's all very legit. Facebook will ask for a code, it will send the code, and then they can continue. I have this off purely because I don't want to add more complications, more hoops for them to jump. But if you are getting a lot of junk or spam leads, you can turn that on. Click this one off, don't want that. Now for the intro, you're going to do a quick headline and description. For example, with ours, check your event date and availability, and your business name. This is just what we've used in one of ours. I'm not saying this is what you have to, but just create a headline and description for your form. Next, we go to the questions. So let me just pull this over. For ours, you can see here, do you have a date for your event? And the answers are within the next 3 months, 3 to 6 months, more than 6 months, still canvassing. This is to reduce the number of people that are just curious but not really serious. So what happens is when you create, so I'm on questions, I'm in the questions section. When you create a multiple choice question, you can have conditional logic, which means that if they answer one thing, you can basically accept it. Or you see in this example, more than 6 months away, we're saying go to the end page. So this is a end page for non-leads. So basically what this means is for us personally, if they are in the next 3 months or 3 to 6 months, go to question number 2. If they're more than 6 months or they're still canvassing, we say stop the form because they're not a good lead for us. Question number 2, how many guests are you expecting? If you have a minimum, then you can again put the, if it's below that minimum, you can send them to the, you can say no sorry. And if you have a maximum, you can say no sorry. You know, you can put anything in here based on how many rooms that you've got. Question number 3, dinner or lunch. You know, this is just something that we added just to be able to know when they message, we know which ones to check. What type of event? There's no wrong answers here. This again just tells us they can just choose from a drop down. Let's go through to here. Nope, sorry. So let's say, for example, more than, no, this one. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Anyway, so question number 4, what type of event? We have all the options there. Question number 5, do you have a preferred event date? So if you want to do appointment request, you can even just set this one as a short answer, but then what happens is, oh, we need to put something, we need to do a privacy policy. So you just put something in there that's just to, we do not share your information. And then email, I always have that as optional. The full name and the phone number, and in this case I would keep it, I would put email as optional, phone number as mandatory. It's much easier to text or phone than email, I found. Privacy policy, which is like this one here, we just have your link to your privacy policy on your website. Review screen, ending. So this is where we had, yes, they're a lead, or no, they're not, depending on how they answer the question. So for the leads, we're almost done. Let's check your date. Thank you for your inquiry. What we wrote is, if you prefer to reply via Facebook Messenger, click on the view message, and then we put our Facebook Messenger. So all you would do is put your business name at the end of this, and that will go through to your messenger, go to website. For those that didn't meet our standards, meaning that they didn't have a date within the next 6 months, they're just canvassing, or they had too little or too many guests for our room, then we send them to this page. Thanks for your interest. Based on your details, it looks like your plans are still flexible, or your guest count may be below our minimum or above our maximum. So for that, we just say, sorry, but it doesn't look like we're able to help you, but you can check out our website. So when you save and publish, and tick this one, start conversation. When you save and publish, that's going to create your lead form. So we're just going to keep this one for now, but you would obviously create one for yourself. So if you did choose require SMS verification when we did that lead form, this would already be ticked. We made work. We didn't request for work email. If you have WhatsApp, you can add your WhatsApp. The chat builder, again, this is something you can play around with. Basically, again, you have a greeting. You can keep your current call to action. You can add your hours in here, or we can say we don't want any of those and just click on save. All right, we're almost there. Ad creative. This is where we are actually creating our ad. So if you have a video, I would absolutely recommend using video. If you don't have video, then use a photo from your business. So you can click on upload and choose an image or video from your previous photos and videos. And then when you select one, sorry, I'm just going to go for image ad. Let's do this one. Next. Then it's going to ask us for three things: the primary text, the headline, and the description. The best thing to do is get ChatGPT or whatever your favorite AI tool is to help you write the primary text, the headline, and the description. To give you an example on ours, primary text, this is all we did. So once you've written the primary text once, Facebook will let you come up with some alternative texts. The headline, very simple: book your event at, put your name. Let's hide that. Description, keep it nice and short: exclusive function venue for 25, should be 100 guests. And then your call to action, choose get quote. That is everything you need to start your first ad. So we're just going to summarize again that in the campaign, we are selecting the objective of leads and ad set budget. In the ad set, we choose instant forms only, maximize number of qualified leads. We're setting our budget per day, and then we're choosing our audience. Now, I would suggest, again, pick the nearest landmark, maybe +3 to +8 miles, depending on the traffic. You would know that best. And then the placements, we only want to include those 6: Instagram, Facebook stories, Reels, and Facebook feed and Instagram feed. That's all we want. And then for the ad itself, you select your pages, you choose single for now, You can experiment with this later. Create a form using the questions I suggested. If you want to do create an introduction for the chat, you can do that here. You then choose the video or the image. For your primary text, use ChatGPT to help you write the primary text, the headline, and the description. Call to action should be get quote. With all of that, you can click publish and you would have your first ad live. So to finish off, I'm just jumping back into our campaign just to show you some results. So this is for the last 7 days. You can see July 28th to August 3rd, 2026. This is the last 7 days for our campaign. These are different ads that we have. So this ad here is our newest ad. It was only launched a few days ago, and it's already generated 28 messenger conversations that have started, and 18 people have filled out the lead form. So it's basically cost us 49 pesos to start a conversation with a potential customer. Those lead forms cost 77 pesos per lead. Now our conversion rate is around about 70%. So, you imagine how much does one function or one event bring in? This is the cost per lead. So if you average out this entire campaign over, so this one here is starting to get a bit big, and this one here as well. But if you average it out, it's costing us 44.8 pesos for every conversation started. Every conversation started on Messenger is a chance to engage with a potential customer, and it's cost us on average 121 pesos per lead. 77, as I said, is the latest one. So in the last 7 days, we have had 262 different people message our page. We're basically expanding our database by 262 people per week, last 7 days. We've had 97 people fill out that form in the last 7 days. And these are not huge costs. I know a lot of people I've spoken to, they've wasted money on Facebook ads, but when you get it really dialed in, and the algorithm is really finding the right people, then you can get similar results. There is a lot more in the advanced stuff that I can teach further on down the track. Having your meta pixel is important, and also conversion stages. So we have pencil booking, we have confirm booking. They will send the meta pixel information back, but I don't want to confuse and complicate things. I just want a very basic starter. Just do the cold lead form first, set up your questions, and this is that exact campaign that we were talking about there. So in the last 7 days, and this one is only, I think, 200 pesos per day is the budget for this ad. 200 pesos per day, and we've already got 28 messenger conversations, 16 lead forms. Sorry, this was the lead forms, and 18 leads overall. So, that's an amazing result for just 7 days. I know it seems like a lot. Just open the video on one part of the screen and open your Facebook Ads Manager on the other, and just go through slowly, copy and paste what I've done. Have ChatGPT help you write the primary text, headline, and description. And if you have any questions or you get stuck, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to help you. Okay, cheers.